Well, good morning. So here I am on a walk after the Bills win against the Ravens. Probably one of those games that will take some years out of your life, but that's the being a Bills fan is about. So testing a new camera. So let's see how we can maybe do a quick week one review while I go on my morning walk here near the Portuguese National Palace. So I think the sun is a bit too strong, but we can probably test it how it goes. So if you can see further down, that's the Portuguese National Palace. Well, so let's try this camera out. So week one, let's see what I can remember from week one. So it started with the Eagles beating the Cowboys. So no surprise there. I think the biggest surprise was that the Cowboys were competitive. CeeDee Lamb probably catches some balls and there could be an upset. Well, Jalen Carter was ejected beginning of the game. That could have made a big difference because the Cowboys actually ran the ball a bit. Defense was not bad. They were able to score points, so we'll see. Still, Eagles won. And I think on the division, so I think Commanders also won. So I think just the Giants and Cowboys lost. I don't think there was any surprises there. So second game, so the Chargers beat the Chiefs. I think most people were expecting the Chiefs to win, but I think the Chiefs kept doing what they had last year. So their line, especially the left side, is a weakness. I actually saw Jawan Taylor being called by a false start, which is something new. He always normally gives a quick step back to gain distance because, well, he's not a very good player. I think he's paid as much as a cap hit this year as Mahomes. I think I'd say that several worlds apart in terms of quality there. So their run defense is always a bit suspect. I think they were having some issues with pass rush. So, but that's the things when teams start playing their quarterbacks and other players. Well, money is not enough for everything, and if you don't always hit on draft picks, well, that's what happened. So Xavier Worthy got injured. They have Rice suspended. So probably not as a dynamic attack, but still Mahomes is still Mahomes. I think this time was that Chargers played a good game, Herbert played a good game, not like I think the last time they played, I think it was in the playoffs. So Chargers won, which means that actually Chiefs are last in the division, which is something you probably don't see, and I don't know the next week's games, maybe I'll stop a bit and check to see, because the Chiefs are playing the Eagles, so it could be that, like, who knows, for the first 2 weeks Chiefs are bottom of the division. That would be something, well, probably hasn't happened in a while. Well, everyone loves to hate the Chiefs, so, well, we'll see. But Eagles are probably wanting to show that Super Bowl was not a fluke, and the Chiefs are probably wanting a payback. So we'll have to see how that game goes. But so let's see other games. So I think the first slate of games was a bit boring. I don't know if it's week one or if it's people not playing their starters in the preseason. So I think teams come out like sometimes, I don't know if a bit rusty or other things. So So let's see. So I think there was like a lot of tight games. I don't think the games were... I did not see most of the games, so if there was a really good game that I missed, well, I'll probably learn about it in a bit or during the week. So I think there was Browns-Bengals, which I think Browns had a good chance to win. They didn't. So, well, Bengals got, I don't know, if a deserved win or if they escaped. I don't know. But the question is that they won. And so that means that I think they're top with also the Steelers, which another team which could also have lost but didn't. But well, Steelers have been done it for a long time, as probably the Browns have been losing games they should have won for a long time. So I don't know at what point, if it's a feature and not a fault. So let's see, Miami lost against the Colts, so probably not following as much the NFL as I have normally done in the last years. So I was expecting Miami to win. Seems that their losses during the off season were probably greater than I thought, and that probably that the players they got in were probably either not good enough or they're still not adapted to what the coaches want. But still, I think Daniel Jones got a career resurgence. We'll see how long does it take, if it's just playing Miami or if he's really was just needing, I don't know, change of scenery or change of offense. I don't know. Not a big of a expert on most things NFL. Follow it for a bit of time, but still, if Daniel Jones keeps playing well, I don't know if it's the MetLife Stadium that is cursed or something, because a lot of good Jets quarterbacks but Jets quarterbacks become good after they played with the Jets. Geno Smith, like Sam Darnold, probably I'm forgetting like one or two more. Like even Justin Fields, I don't know if it was like the reverse, so he was probably not that good, and so the Jets got him, and now he's actually played very, very well. So we'll see. Other games, let's see. I can't quite remember. Well, it was the Bucks Falcons, actually, the game that I watched. I have a friend who is now following the NFL, and so he likes Pirates, so he chose the Buccaneers. So beginning of the game was not that good for the Buccaneers. Falcons started really well, but then they fizzed out. So I think Mayfield is one of those quarterbacks that needs, I don't know if it's emotions or something. So, but like after he made a first down, he started playing. So after that, it was still a tight game. So both teams could have won it. I think I checked, it was like, so from the 15 games already played, I think 10 were just by one score. Well, one score would be 7 points with that tie it. There's actually another game which was by 8 points, so I don't know if you consider that by one score or not. There was some really tight games. Probably I either need to take some notes or I'll pick up my phone, just check the rest of the games that actually happened. So as you can see, nothing like walking in the nature. Well, okay, so let's see now here the games. Well, so okay, so Jets Steelers, Jaguars Panthers, which was a game that was delayed by lightning. I think probably Panthers fans would probably say, just call it, just call it. But yeah, so I think probably Panthers and Miami fans probably are the ones who are feeling worse after this, because well, just checking, because so well, Miami's division now, they're in last place. Patriots did not play bad, and the Jets could have won their game. So actually I think the big surprise was that the Jets were probably, I think they made the second best play in the division. Yeah. And well, so Saints Cardinals. So Saints was probably what most people would have said was the worst team in the NFL. They actually were not awful, so we'll see. Cardinals won, so well, that's good for them, but I think most people were expecting for them to, well, trash the Saints. But the NFL is a strange game. I think a lot of talented and prideful men there, so sometimes the games that people expect team to do one thing, the other, well, will just not allow it. So let's see more games here. So Commanders Giants. Oof, Giants was another. I think Dable is looking to be in a hot seat, because well, didn't play very well against the rival, and so we'll see. It's just the first week, call it overreaction week, so a lot of the things that I think and several people think now will be completely flipped. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So then Browns Bengals already talked about. Patriots Raiders was a game that was, I think, probably I see a bit of the game, didn't see all, but see like the Raiders with a lot of chances. Patriots also had some chances, so it's like Raiders won, but it's not like that they, how you say, were probably comfortable in that win, to say the least. But they won, which, at least comparing some other Raider seasons, I think they probably now hope that they finally got a good quarterback. Geno Smith has been playing well for some years in Seattle. So since Seattle was rebuilding, they traded Geno Smith, and I think they finally probably got a decent coach, decent quarterback. Problem is that they are in a division with the Chiefs that has Mahomes, with the Chargers that has Herbert, and with Denver, who has Bo Nix. So actually I need to see Denver. So Denver won 2012 against the Titans. So it was like very low scoring, very tight. So some people are just that I look down on the Titans. So Broncos supposed to be a strong team. So we'll have to see if it's the Broncos that are worse than expected, if are the Titans which are better than expected. And so we'll have to see, because week one is not a good indicator for future performance. So Packers Lions, I think after the first slate of games I was really expecting something good in this game. Well, but I think the Packers started ahead and never let down. I was curious to see how the Lions would fare without their two new coordinators. So, well, we'll have to wait and see. So it was funny that we got two games that were two potential championship games, so people who want to win to advance to the Super Bowl. So had Bills Ravens, which I will talk in a bit, and we had Packers Lions. So one for the AFC, the other for the NFC. Well, I think the Lions need to step up their game, but still, it was a away game, Lambeau Field, probably not the best place to play, but I think it's probably better to play now than in the winter. So we'll see. One of the places that I need to go and visit. And so, Rams Texans. Well, also one of those games that I was keeping a look on the score, and it was really low score. I think the Rams were able to win it. Have a good young team. I think the Texans was that team that blew up not last season, the season before, and people were expecting Stroud to be a superstar, but it was a slump last year. They lost a lot of people in the line, so we'll have to see. They have a young coach, a young quarterback, so let's see if it was a flash in the pan or if they just got too quickly up and now they have to relearn or redo some stuff. So we'll have to see. Still a good team. I don't know. They did have some injuries, like if they're still waiting for players, but have to see. So then, of course, the marquee game, as you can probably see, well, involving one of my teams and one of my favorite players. And so, well, let's say that Henry and the Ravens run game keeps being an issue for the Bills. But like I think it has happened, I don't know if it once or twice before, well, the Bills somehow are able to come back and get a win. So I think it's unfortunate for the Ravens fans who were probably already seeing revenge game and the MVP and all of that, and the Bills got the win very late, which I'm very happy, but still I would probably prefer to not have those types of games and endings. Well, I do like to win, but well, not get that, I say, far behind. I think Derrick Henry is a beast, and I think it was a very good pickup for them because they already had a very good run game, and now with Henry, Lamar Jackson, and now that they also get the passing game, it's a dangerous team to face. They have a lot of talent. But yeah, so Vikings Bears will be today. We'll have to see. So I think two talented teams. Both they have young quarterbacks. I think J.J. McCarthy will do his first start. He was injured last year. They had Darnold, and Darnold played his best season. So we'll have to see how he goes. But yeah, two talented teams. I don't know. If I have to say, I don't know if I feel the Vikings will probably win this. I know they have Caleb and they have Ben Johnson, but the Vikings were very strong last year. They do have a young quarterback, but I think they can probably ease him in. I think the Bears really improved their offensive line, so probably a very tight game, but we'll see. Actually, I was forgot to talk about like the 49ers and the Seahawks, which I have a good friend who she will nag me like, hey, you forgot about the 49ers. I said, sorry, but yeah, they won against the Seahawks, so I think they got some injuries, which seems to be something that keeps happening with the 49ers. So I don't know if it's the players itself, if it's the training, if it's, I don't know. But they keep having seasons full of injuries. So it's like one of those things. Probably feature, not the fault. So, but I don't know. I see teams that keep having players injured until probably they do some big changes on sports science and team doctors and stuff like that. So for example, my team, the Bills, was something like that when Sean McDermott came to the club. He got like sports science teams from the, I don't know which, I think they worked with the Premier League clubs, and they got like this special now, how you say, treatment center for the players. So like at the time was state of the art. I don't know if it's still state of the art, but like they do care, and they normally, like, if a player is injured, they normally tend to be cautious and don't play the player, which I think some people are against, some people are in favor. But it's a long season, people get a lot of wear and tear. So especially now with the extra game, and probably in a few years there's going to be 18 games. I think with 18 games, hopefully they get I think expanded squad. Actually, I've seen like a interesting proposal, or it seems interesting, I don't know if it is or it isn't, but like 18 game schedule, and then players can only play 16 regular season games. So it would be fun to really care about your backups. So like if some people already care too much about their team backups, I imagine if you know that there would be 2 games in the season that your top quarterback or top player or couldn't play, so probably will never be applied, but it would be fun to think about it. Like for example, like they having like a I don't know, not youth teams like have in soccer in Portugal and in Europe or rest of the world. But I don't know, maybe get some type of contracts also, like you could hire like a rookie, like for a contract like for 2 years or something, that he would train with the club, couldn't play unless you like hire him to the squad or something, but like for 2 years protected, like no team could get him, and you'd have the rights, and you'd have to evolve the player. Probably a lot of players that are very raw coming from college, where they just want to win, they don't care about evolving the player. Even like in the NFL, it's also the same. People there are there for short stints, and so it's win now mode, and so they don't care to get the best out of the player. They just try to get the player to help them win, even if he just like runs the same route over and over and over again, instead of just developing as a route runner and stuff like that, which is a shame. I think that even sometimes probably in soccer that happens, but I think evolving players has financial interest, because if you develop your players, you can then sell them, even if you don't use them, or even if a coach comes that doesn't want them. Yes, like in the NFL you can trade them, but still it's probably not the same thing. That's it. So I will have to see how the film goes, how the sound goes, but it's a nice little tiny camera that you can handheld. I didn't trip on anything, which is good. And basically that's it. So I think it's probably a good way to get a morning walk, and you just talk about the NFL for a bit, and after that I'll just go home, sit on my computer and start working, and already got a bit of sun. Yeah. So well, Take care, and hopefully I'll do this more times. Bye.